Hey YouTubers, train tubers, it's Tom. I got quite a few inbox messages about this topic with regard to showing you the workbench, and quite a few more emails even, so I thought I'd take the time to do that. I don't know if my workbench is anything less or more than anyone else's, I should suppose, but here it is. Anyway, here's where it starts. I got a filing system. When I get an engine, I'll put a file on it, put it in the file, and when I need a smoke unit or want to make reference to a part, I've got it there. A good radio. I got this one for $1 at a garage sale. Nice little Sony radio. Metal high drive batteries require a charger. There it is. And DCS remotes like good fresh batteries. Okay, and moving along, you get these little vices at train shows. They're small little guys. They're great for holding the wire when you want to solder, make for an extra hand here and there. Okay, plug mold. Front of the bench has this plug mold. Nobody wants plug mold. You'll see Lowe's close this stuff out for $2-3 for a 6-foot piece. And man, when you want to hold or plug something in, you always got it. And that's always nice to be expeditious in that regard, I guess, because it's always a pain in the arse looking for a plug. Okay, bench top here. I guess I have kind of a theme. My bench theme is out of sight, out of mind. I don't know if I really trust someone with a real clean workbench. That's kind of out there. That's like saying you don't drink out of the milk carton in the middle of the night, right? And you really do. So, with regard to the topic of workbenches, never trust someone with a clean workbench. Maybe that's my motto, along with out of sight, out of mind. And looking at the bench, okay, here's the big controversy over the press. This is my wheel press. I'm tempted to draw a big L here on the side of the thing and put it on eBay for $1,000. A genuine Lionel press. Well, guess what? I paid $20 for this one. And I got it at Harbor Freight. I pressed my wheels on with it. I've got all the tooling that I need. I love it. I use my wheel gauge. I don't have any problem. I don't know. You purists will have to go pay the big spank. I don't get that. All right, now here's an interesting thought here. Look at this block of stuff here. Where'd you get all this, people ask? Well, I'm in pretty good with my dentist. The guy fusses with dentures. He's an all-around dental guy. He's an older guy like me. Come on, he had trains when he was a kid. The first thing I expect from him when I go in to see him is him asking me, hey, what'd you get new in Trainland, you know? And my reply is always the same. Well, hey, a little of this, a little of that, but what about tooling, you know? What do you got for me today, Gus? You know, dazzle me. So he'll come up with a different end or a grinding bit or a different die. And along with that are all these dental picks and tools. When they break a pick, they don't want them anymore. They want rid of them. But, you know, nobody would ever think to ask for a thing like that. But you got to ask in life, you know, if you want something. You know, you don't want something for nothing. Offer to compensate for it. But, you know, hey, you don't want to believe me, don't. But as I said before, go in when you see your dentist and ask him. You'll get that surprised look. Yeah, we've got a drawer full of junk. Why, you want it? And you'll see people at shows, you know, spanking $2, $3, $4, $5 for these things. Look at the geometry of every different kind of shape to get in and clean or pick away at anything. Maybe a traction tire, you know, a lot of variety here, and all for nothing, you know. Different grinding wheels to put on Dremel tools, and adhesives and glues, super glues. Okay, then we move on up. Got magnetic tool rail here. You buy junk, you get junk. Get the good snap-on, very magnetically attractive tool rail. They'll hold anything. Don't buy the dollar magnetic strip, you won't like it. You got to have a shelf on a bench anyway. Why not put something on the front of it? Again, out of sight, out of mind. That's my theme. Okay, I got a power supply. This one's a 3 amp. I think it's a Radio Shack, about $30. You got to look out. Look at some of these voltages. You're looking at a smoke unit problem, for example. More often than not, DC is rather the rule than the exception. So look out for the voltages. Okay, different organizer boxes, side rods, brushes, brush plates. See these little jars here, or little small baby food jars. There's a fish scale, digital fish scale weight device, weighing device. It only goes up to about 10 pounds, and hell, I can pin that. I never use it anymore. So that's back in the old back in the old days. So anyway, moving along, just, you know, your basic junk on shelves. Up here's more tooling to do different things, work on different types of trains, and smaller tooling for specialty type jobs. There's some more hanging up here. And the old Proto 1 days, these are Radio Shack speakers. Oh man, they'll take your Proto 1 offering and they'll turn it into a big bass can. They're great. Some old signals. Here's an old Triang, I think it's the rocket train from, geez, it's got to be the late 50s when I got that. Waiting for time to reawaken it. Even got some Varney trains up here, still in the packages. Waiting for, again, for time to reawaken them. Here's a Proto 1 tool. It's with a force chip. When you scramble a Proto 1 engine, usually with regard to a battery issue, you need this chip to force it back into hopefully a working state again. You can't beat a good push pin. Go to the dollar store. These are about 69 cents. Super glue or 5 for $1. Look at this. Here's a sound effect tape. It's an 8-track. Train sounds. Taking bids, anyone? Just all kinds of things in life, you know. You don't need to pay the big spank when you go to these shows. You know, adhesives and glues and picks. You know, you want to just be frugal, you know, and not spend the farm. I got a soldering station here with some flux, and I got a nice little bench grinder. This is a little $6-7 grinder. Look at how little this guy is. I love it. To polish a wheel or clean something, I got a little wire wheel attachment for it. Okay, metering things out. Got a DVOM here to look at resistors, maybe look at resistor tolerances, multipliers, learn what a value of a resistor is. There's charts on the wall, it always comes in handy. Now, what about when you want to go under the tables and you don't want to look for a light all day? Well, here's a good example of what I like to do is a 50-foot cord reel. Here's a light hanging here. So when you want to go underneath, you grab the light, turn them on, run underneath, give it a snap back, the wire's gone. You don't have to mess with cords. It's great. Try it. You'll see them at rummage sales. They're all over the place. Okay, now, out of sight, out of mind. Underneath the bench are bottles. These are big pickle jar bottles. Out of sight, out of mind. I got to keep saying that. E-units, pole-more motors, a couple hundred Proto 1 and 2 batteries, miscellaneous parts, power supplies. Just everything of every conceivable thing for trains. You know, I've been doing this for 45 years. Trucks, couplers, rivets, brushes, tooling, you name it. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on with the bench on the lower end. Now, here's an advantage of having kids. You got to buy baby food, right? So I got this turn carousel up here. Well, what's that all about? Well, again, don't let them spank you with a big, you know, you got to have this and that at Sears. Look at all you got here with this is a 4x4. Okay, you cut it about 3 feet long. You take your baby food jar lids, spank them on the thing, and look at what that turns this into. Need a smoke unit? There it is. Out of sight, out of mind. It's a good theme to have. Try it. Oh, I could never do that. Oh, come on. All you need is a dowel. Drill a hole in the end of the thing. Take some dimensional lumber, mount it up to the ceiling. You're all set. You don't need to think much more about it. It's a pretty good idea. I recommend you try it. Okay, and over here are different banana plugs, wiring harnesses, and the like. I always got to have my railroad hat. You know, I never wear it much anyway, but okay, so that gives you a general overall view of the workbench. I got a DD40 here. I want to get going. I got a board problem with it, and another one here that I'm taking apart and yakking some grease in the pots and getting it to run at its optimum again. And I want to try and do a lash up with 7 of these. I don't know if I can do it though. I suppose when I turn on the smoke button, it's gonna cook everything and I'll fall right down. But you got to try new things. Necessity is the mother of all invention, right? Okay, so that's my story and I'm stuck with it. I hope this answers your questions, and there you've seen the bench. Okay, thanks for watching. Take good care.